Next, we got the Ravens are back. Now, Ravens, at this last game, y'all have officially proved to us that y'all might be scary again. All right. Now, prior to y'all beginning of the season, y'all was looking mid. Let's be honest. Y'all was looking mid. But now y'all might be on a streak. All right. Now, I think y'all record is neutral. So we got to see. It's still the beginning of the season. We're still warming up to things. So let's not jump on a too crazy bandwagon of, the Ravens back and everything's going to be so sweet. Because they might just lose the next 3 games, then what? So we got to go literally by week. That's literally how the NFL season goes. Week by week, bro. Okay. But hey, if you want more Ravens video, hit that like button, hit that sub button.
This season was obviously not off to the exact start the Ravens were really hoping for. But now they are back to 500 and just picked up a very dominant win over the Bills, who were literally 3-0 coming into Monday Night Football. The Ravens could have dropped to 1-3, and that would have literally been a disaster, especially with the Pittsburgh Steelers already up at 3-1. But they came to play. And honestly, this game got even closer than I think a lot of people expected at the half. The Ravens just came out of the gate and looked like the better team, and you just got to start with Derrick Henry. What a day he had. Not only did he score on an insane 87-yard run, literally on the first play from scrimmage once they got the ball back, that made it 7-0, and then in the second quarter, he scores on a catching pass from Lamar Jackson, a huge, very, very long drive, and then soon after, Lamar finds Justice Hill, and just like that, it is 21-3. It looked like the Bills just could not even play with the Ravens in the first half, and that really did set the tone for the rest of the game. The Bills did try to get some of their momentum back, early third quarter. Ty Johnson gets a touchdown. All of a sudden, it's an 11-point game. Really, anything can happen, but that's not how it worked out. Lamar scores late in the third. Patrick Ricard ends up scoring in the fourth quarter. This one just ended up getting out of hand. The Bills tried to fight their way back, but it was too little too late. It was a fantastic game to watch. It obviously was not as competitive as we were hoping coming into Sunday Night Football, but this is truly, and I still think, 2 of the best teams in football. At the very least, it's 2 of the best quarterbacks in football. I'd argue the second and third best quarterback literally in football, a guy that could win the MVP this year in Josh Allen, and a guy like Lamar Jackson, who is off of back-to-back MVPs. Buffalo's still very good. They're still probably going to win the AFC East, but they didn't play well. The Ravens, on the other hand, they really needed this win. The Ravens definitely didn't benefit from an easy early season schedule. It's been pretty much the complete opposite. If you add in the Bills, that means that 3 of the Ravens' first 4 games are against the Chiefs, Cowboys, and Bills. Quite literally 3 of the best teams in the league last year.
Facts.
That's not exactly an easy start.
Facts.
But even the one game in that mix that they probably should have won, they ended up losing to the Raiders 26-20.
Nah, I see. When y'all lost to the Raiders, I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Come on now. Y'all are too good of a team to lose to the bum-ass Raiders? Who was even on the Raiders anyways? Don't they have literally one player? Well, they got him and Derek Carr. No, Derek Carr played for the Saints. Who was even a quarterback, yo? They literally have nobody on their team, and y'all lost. It's embarrassing, bro.
That obviously caused a lot of big questions because you have to beat Gardner Minshew and the Raiders. You add in that 27-20 loss to the Chiefs in week 1, and the Ravens were actually 0-2 to start the season. Now, of course, it wasn't time to hit the panic button, and they turned it around last week with a win against the Cowboys.
And here you come again, Derek Carrion. This is nothing y'all said, though. Y'all did tell me that the Ravens are a running team. I didn't know the Ravens was a running team, bro. I did not know that. I thought they was a passing team. Now, like I told y'all, bro, I don't watch full sports games. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally starting now with this Patreon I have now. We can actually watch full sports games. So, all prior to this, my knowledge came from the highlights. And the highlights, literally, Lamar Jackson's dropping back to pass 90% of the time. They never ran the ball. You know what I'm saying? But that just comes from the highlights, though. The highlights show a different thing, obviously. But yeah, bro. So now I noticed that they're a running team. I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Honestly,
I did not know
didn't even look like the Ravens wanted to win that game late. I mean, they almost blew the lead super, super late. Now, they did manage to hold on 28-25, but it was ugly. And clearly, as a whole, it's just not how the Ravens wanted to start the year. And I think that some of the disappointment really is just Lamar Jackson looking kind of normal, not really otherworldly, as we've come to expect. He's coming off of his second MVP, and he hasn't been insane. Now, he hasn't been bad, but the expectations for Lamar is for him to always look great, and he hasn't. He only threw 3 touchdowns through the first 3 games, add in an interception with 702 yards. Of course, that's okay when he's able to make that impact on his feet like he's able to, and of course, he had over 250 yards through the first 3 games, you know? But he only had 1 rushing touchdown. That's nothing really crazy for his standards, and I think it's pretty clear at this point that he's maybe not the top rusher in Baltimore anymore. Maybe it is Derrick Henry. And what a signing Derrick Henry.
That's crazy how we even consider that, though.
And dominant Henry was with the Titans, and now the Ravens have gone out and brought in one of the league's top rushers to pair with the best rushing quarterback of all time. That is just a defensive nightmare for anyone, and it's been very clear. I really just can't believe the NFL let these two end up together. That is a ridiculous run game, trying to stop 2 of the league's best who literally play 2 different play styles. I don't think the passing game is nearly as scary, but I do personally really like Zay Flowers. I mean, he's already good, but I'd love to see him turn into a truly elite wide receiver at some point. For as much as people talk about how good of a runner Lamar is and, you know, how he doesn't see as much success in the passing game, it really doesn't get nearly brought up enough that his offensive weapons to throw to just haven't been that great in his career. Really, I think Mark Andrews has been the top guy for him, and it's starting to feel like Andrews is just quickly falling down the path of being washed, just like Travis Kelce for the Chiefs. And
he talking crazy right now. Hold on. Chat, let me know. Do y'all feel like Mark Andrews is washed? Now, I think like this should be the thought process behind saying yes or no. Number 1, Mark Andrews is a GOAT. Mark Andrews, a veteran, you know. So you've known him over the years to be a good tight end. I wouldn't say the best tight end ever, but he was a good tight end. So I know that's where you first that's the first thing you think of, like, because you just know Mark Andrews for so long. It's like you don't want to just like hate on him. You feel me? But let's be honest, bro. I haven't even seen him throw the ball to Mark Andrews, to be honest. So might be facts, yo. Might be facts. And then another thing too, yeah, tight ends, like the general archetype for a tight end is just somebody who's just too big to play running back, but too big to play running back and too big to play receiver, but more athletic than a lineman. So it's basically an athletic lineman, basically. That's what a tight end is, athletic lineman. So back in the day, it used to be just like Gronkowski, so stiff, like a stiff tight end, just running around. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of a tight end. But nowadays, same with quarterbacks. The more athletic person, it wins, bro. You know what I'm saying? We thought quarterbacks had to be like Tom Brady, stand tall in the pocket and throw dots. Like, yeah, that works, but imagine Tom Brady was athletic. Shit. You feel me? So it's like somebody who athletic at the end of the day is gonna win, bro. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah Likely, yeah. He's more athletic. Mark Andrews, you know, he's older now and stuff like that. Still love him, but it's just look, bro. Don't take it personal. This is a cutthroat business, bro. Do not take it personal. This is what it is, bro. Let me know if y'all agree in the comments.
His career. Really, I think Mark Andrews has been the top guy for him, and it's starting to feel like Andrews is just quickly falling down the path of being washed, just like Travis Kelce for the Chiefs, and sadly just like the Ravens kicker Justin Tucker. He's no longer automatic. Now, Tucker's still going to go down as one of, if not the best kicker in NFL history, but he isn't who he once was. Tucker has been missing pretty much everything outside of 50 for the last few seasons. He was once an automatic guy from literally anywhere on the field, it felt like, and now he's just not as good. And that's the circle of life.
I know that.
And that's why the Ravens need to make the most of some of the guys they have now. More than anyone, Lamar Jackson, of course. He's so good. He's literally changed the game forever, and who knows if we'll ever get to see another Lamar Jackson. And the good news for us is that he's still super young, which is just terrible news for the rest of the league. John Harbaugh just really needs to get the Ravens right. And surely they can make it to a Super Bowl with Lamar at some point, but you have to wonder when, or if it'll ever happen. The Bills are one of those teams that have been expected to be really good for the last few years. And they have been very good, but not good enough. They haven't been able to get past the Chiefs, and they haven't even been able to get past the Bengals.
I forgot about the Bengals.
They had missed their window after they lost a lot of really good defensive players. And of course, Stephon Diggs this offseason. It made sense that maybe the Bills weren't going to be as good. And for the first time in a while, there weren't these insane expectations. Yet here we are, and the Bills are still good. There's just the question of how good. And that's never a simple question. In week 1, the Bills had a pretty tough game against the Cardinals. And they didn't look very good early, but they were able to fight back somehow, and they won. And now it looks like the Cardinals are a pretty good team, too. Then they beat the Dolphins in that game where Tua Tagovailoa left early with a concussion, and the Bills were taking care of that
it was
game
the Bills game, wasn't
it? Injury. It's still hard to know just how good the Dolphins could have been this year, though.
I think I seen a clip that said DeMar Hamlin got his first pick or something like that, or a pick 6.
In that game where Tua Tagovailoa left early with a concussion, and the Bills were taking care of that game well before the Tua injury. It's still hard to know just how good the Dolphins could have been this year, though, with Tua. Then there was the Jaguars game, which the Jaguars aren't exactly a good team. I think everybody kind of knows that, but the Bills made it really, really obvious by beating the absolute crap out of them 47-10. That was just ugly, and the Bills made it really obvious that they were the real deal on national television before getting another shot against the Ravens in primetime. Now, Lamar is a young guy, and he already has multiple MVPs, and then there's Josh Allen, who seems to be right there in that top of the league with Lamar and 3-time MVP Patrick Mahomes. At this point, the question is just when Josh Allen is going to win MVP. You could argue he's the single most important player in football if you wanted, and he's been in the past few MVP discussions. Well, that is going to be the case again this year, and I even bet on him to win it.
Wait, so does MVP always be the quarterbacks? Or is it like multiple positions? You get like an MVP per position? Is that what it is? It might be like that.
He's already well on his way to another insane season. Coming into the game against the Ravens, he already had 7 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns. But here's the really big thing with Josh. He didn't lose any fumbles or throw any interceptions over that span. If Josh Allen is suddenly smarter with the football and making good decisions, that's going to be a huge issue for the rest of the league. Because then he'll literally be unstoppable. Now, the big wonder was how much Stephon Diggs meant to the offense and Josh Allen's success. Well, he was definitely a big piece in Josh Allen's development to be able to have a top talented guy he could rely on like Diggs, but now I think Josh Allen is who he is. Khalil Shakir has already stepped in. He's been his top target, been a good impact player. Otherwise, the passing game has been pretty spread open. I think Keon Coleman can turn into a good pro, and then of course there is James Cook, who at running back makes a big impact in the run game, but can also make a huge impact in the passing game. For a long time there, the Bills just didn't consistently have a good running back. And Cook has been so good for that offense, and he's really carrying on the legacy of having a dominant Cook brother in the NFL.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Continues to just go
Dalvin Cook is literally the GOAT, bro.
The Bills are just a good team.
And he got my number on, too.
The defense is playing way better than expected after they lost some really good players. But, that is what Sean McDermott is there to do. That's why he's the head coach. I still don't know if the Bills can be actually good come the postseason, but for now, the Bills are doing a pretty good job trying to prove that they're still a top team to beat in the league. And even with losing a lot of talent, like we've seen happen to the Chiefs and some other really good teams, the Bills are showing that they can still play with the best and are one of the best. And probably that's just because of Josh Allen. But at some point, the Bills have to be able to actually break through.
Let me know in the comments how y'all feel.
The Cleveland Browns are
Love
really
y'all.
bad. And it feels